Here is Politico reports today that Health and Human Services Secretary Tom Price took private jets on 5 separate flights for official business at a cost of tens of thousands of dollars more than commercial travel. Let me tell you why I don't believe this for a moment. Because here's Tom Price just the other... Oh, no, wait a second. This was in 2009. A CNBC interview in 2009. Huh. What's he saying?
Let me start with Tom Price because his name is easier to pronounce. Congressman Price, where were you in the original vote on $550 million, and where are you on the issue tonight?
Hey, Dennis, good to talk with you. Thank you so much. I think we've made it halfway where we ought to, and that is cut it from 8 to 4 jets. Now we need to cut it from 4 jets to 0 jets. This is just another example of fiscal irresponsibility run amok in Congress right now, and I hope that Joe agrees with me that we ought to move it from 4 to 0.
So there he is talking about how the 2009 budget called for 4 private jets for House leaders and for the use of other government officials sparingly. I guess the issue he must have had was with sparingly. Although, Secretary's 5 flights, which were scheduled between September 13th and, you ready for this? September 15th. 5 private jet flights in 2 days. Took him to a resort in Maine where he participated in a Q&A discussion with a healthcare industry CEO, and to community health centers in New Hampshire and Pennsylvania, according to internal HHS documents. The travel by corporate-style jet comes at a time when other members of the Trump administration are under fire for travel expenditures. You'll recall that Steve Mnuchin wanted to have a corporate jet to take him on his honeymoon. I mean,
my wife's very demanding, okay? I mean, she wants a private jet, okay? It's
government jet.
No, government private jet in a certain sense, okay.
It breaks with the practices of Obama Secretaries Sylvia Burwell and Kathleen Sebelius, who flew commercially while in the continental U.S. Price, of course, is a frequent critic of federal spending. Declined to comment. All 3 organizations that hosted Price last week denied and told the Politico they did not pay for his flights or other travel costs. A spokesperson from the HHS said, as part of the HHS mission to enhance and protect the health and well-being of the American people, Secretary Price travels on occasion outside of Washington to meet face-to-face with the American people to hear their thoughts and concerns firsthand. Because, as you know, none of them fly commercial or take trains, and you would never run into those American people face to face.
If you want to meet real people, you need to get away from buses and trains. You got to get on jets.
On charter jets.
Charter jets.
Quote, when commercial aircraft cannot reasonably accommodate travel requirements, charter aircraft can be used for official travel. Price's spokespeople declined to comment on why he considered commercial travel to be unfeasible. On one leg of the trip, a sprint from Dulles International Airport to Philadelphia International Airport, a distance of 135 miles. There was a commercial flight that departed at roughly the same time. You know what else goes there? Amtrak. Price's charter left Dulles at 8:27 a.m. and a United Airlines flight departed for Philadelphia at 8:22 a.m. Sample round-trip fares for the United flight ranged from $447 to $725 per person on United.com, though the price would have been lower if Price had booked in advance or received any government discounts. But look, come on.
What normal person books in advance?
You ready for this? The cost of chartering the plane was roughly $25,000. In addition, Amtrak ran 4 trains starting at 7 a.m. that left Washington Union Station and arrived at Philadelphia Street Station no later than 9:58 a.m. The least expensive ticket cost $72. And here's the thing. Current and former staffers speaking on the condition of anonymity say Price has been taking private jets to travel domestically for months. I mean, of course it's incredibly wasteful. Of course this money is a drop in the bucket based upon, but of course it's also just like hugely hypocritical. And God knows what he's doing on these flights. I mean, honestly.
I'm getting attacked. I'm getting investment portfolio advice as an example.
It's unbelievable.
You try having a private conversation about how you may or may not personally profit from a policy you're pushing in a public train or airplane or, God forbid, some Negro vestibule in a Greyhound. You fly private jets if you could, you boy. Why don't you go on Will and Grace?
On top of his insider trading stuff a while ago, he's like a perfect specimen of just corrupt Republican, I feel like.
He is totally like the vintage Republican. Like for all the bizarre, like he's just the classic, like, I'm a Georgia doctor plutocrat. I'm just here for personal enrichment to help a handful of other people in the country club. He's a very traditional Republican.
And you know, the thing is, I think that I always have like trouble wrapping my head around is like, don't they think that they're going to get caught? And the guy, like, that's the thing. It's like so many of these stories, I think like, oh, he's trading, like he's like literally trading on and passing legislation that's going to help his stock portfolio. You're just like, nobody could do that. Nobody could look themselves in the mirror and do that. And then you realize like, it's not like they think they're going to get caught, because these aren't means to an end. They are an end in of themselves. He's just like, I have access to this jet. At one point, maybe it ends, maybe it doesn't, but it's not like I'm going to go to jail. I mean, David Sampson got a whole airline to do a personal jet for him down to South Carolina.
That was nickel and dime Jersey stuff. I'm trying to give over 20% of the American economy back to the goddamn insurance industry.
This is technically legal.
Yeah, that was an actual. They didn't have the sophistication down there, them greaseball wops up in Jersey, to do things that were flagrantly, obscenely corrupt, but technically legal. What's the point of being so goddamn close to Wall Street? You can't figure that out.
Hi, folks. Sam Seder here. We still need your help on our Patreon page. YouTube ads have come back, but not nearly as much as we had before. So if you can help us out, any little bit helps. Head over to our Patreon page right at this URL, and you'll help us keep helping you by making videos